Hello everyone, welcome back to the Python programming series. You have successfully learned the fundamentals of Python. In this lecture, we will solve 20 Python coding questions that cover almost everything we have learned in this course. Topics covered: variables, input and output, operators, conditional statement, loops, functions, strings, lists, tuples, dictionary, sets, OOP, exception handling, file handling. Try solving each question yourself before looking at the solution. A user enters their name and age. How will you display a welcome message like "Hello Keshav, you are 20 years old"? So let's do the code for this question. Name equal to input, enter your name, age equal to int input, enter your age, enter your age, print of hello name, you are age, you are age years old, age years old, age years old. We take name as a string and age as an integer. Then we use an of string to insert both variables directly into the message. If the user enters Keshav and 20, output is "Hello Keshav, you are 20 years old." If I enter here Keshav and 20, then output is "Hello Keshav, you are 20 years old." This contributes input type conversion and of strings. Three basic in one program. Question 2. A shopkeeper wants to calculate the total bill. The user enters the price of three products. How will you calculate and display the final amount? So let's do the code for this question. P1 equal to float input price 1, P2 equal to price 2, P3 equal to price 3, print total bill equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Let's run this code. We use float instead of int because prices can have decimal values. Like if I enter 49.99, 43.99 or 20. We get 113.98 total bill. We take three prices as input, add them together and print the total. Question 3. A school wants to determine whether a student has passed or failed. The passing marks are 40. How will you write the logic? Marks equal to int input enter marks. If marks greater than equal to 40, print pass, else print fail. If marks are 40 or above, pass, otherwise fail. If I enter 40, output is pass because greater than and equal to 40 includes the boundary value itself. If I enter 39, we get fail as output. Question number 4. A company gives bonuses based on experience. Experience greater than equal to 5 years, bonus 10,000, otherwise bonus 5,000. How will you implement this? So let's do the code for this question. Experience equal to int input enter experience if experience greater than equal to 5, print bonus equal to 10,000, else print bonus equal to 5,000. If experience is 5 years or more, bonus is 10,000 and otherwise 5,000. If I enter 7, I get bonus 10,000, and if I enter 3, I get bonus 5,000. So this is the code for question number 4. Question number 5. A teacher wants to print the multiplication table of any number entered by the user. How will you do it using a loop? So let's do the code for this. Question number 5. Num equal to int input enter experience num equal to int input enter number for I in range 1,11 colon print num comma x I equal to num into I. Let's run this code. We take a number as input. The loop runs from 1 to 10, and in each round we print the multiplication. If I try 5, output start with 5 into 1 and ends with 5 into 10 equal to 50. So this is the code for question number 5 to print the multiplication table by the user. Question number 6, a user enters a sentence. How will you count the total number of vowels present in it? Let's do the code for question number 6. Text equal to input, enter sentence, count equal to 0 for ch in text dot lower if ch in a e I o u count plus equal to 1 print count. We convert to lowercase first using dot lower, so we only check for lowercase vowels. Then we loop through each character and check if it is in A, E, I, O, U. If yes, increase count. If I try hello Python, enter, vowels are 3, E, O and O. These are the 3 vowels. So this is the code for question number 6. Now question number 7. A list stores marks of a student. How will you calculate the average marks? So let's do the code for question number 7. Marks equal to 75, 80, 90, 90, 65, 85. Print some marks alien marks. Let's run this code. Sum marks adds all values 75 plus 80 plus 90 plus 65 plus 85, which is 395, and alien marks gives the count, which is 5. So 395 divided by 5, 79. So 79 is the output. 2 built-in function, 1 line. This is the clean and efficient code for finding the average in 1 line. Question number 8. A shopping list contains duplicate items. How will you remove duplicates while keeping only unique products? So let's do the code for question number 8. Items equal to pen, book, pen, bag. Print list set items. Let's run this code. We get output pen, book, and bag. Set items converts the list to a set. Duplicates are automatically removed. List convert it back to a list. List bracket converts it back to a list. Output is pen, book, and bag. Only unique item remains. Note the order may change since sets are unordered. Question number 9. A list contains numbers. How will you create another list containing only even numbers? So let's do the code for question number 9. First we have to create a list 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We created a list. Now we create a empty list. E1 equal to. Now we create a loop for I in numbers. For I percent 2 equal to 0, E1 dot append I print E1. We create an empty list E1 for each number. If I percent 2 equal to 0, it is even. We append it. So if I run this program, I think there is some mistake. Here we have to use if now run this program. We get output 10, 20, 30. Only even numbers collected from the list. Question number 10. A tuple stores name, age, and city. How will you print each value separately using tuple unpacking? So let's do the program for question number 10. Student equal to Rahul, 20, Delhi. Name, age, city equal to student. Print name, print age, print city. One line unpacks all three values into three separate variables: name Rahul, age 20, city Delhi. So output is Rahul, 20, and Delhi on separate lines. So this is the code for tuple unpacking. And now question number 11. A dictionary stores employee names and salaries. How will you increase every employee's salary by 2000? So let's do the code for question number 11. We have to increase the salary. We have to increase salary by 2000 of every employee. employees equal to 25,000 Aman 30,000 for name in employees employees name plus equal to 2000 print employee. We'll loop through the dictionary keys, which are the employees' names. For each key, we assess its value and add 2000 using plus equal to. After the loop, Rahul has 27,000 and Aman has 32,000. Output Rahul colon 27,000, Aman colon 32,000. So this is the code for question number 11. Now question number 12. Two set contains students particip- two sets contain student participating in two different events. How will you find student who participated in both events? So let's do the code for question number 12. Set 1 equal to Rahul, comma Aman, Priya. Set 2 equal to Aman, Priya. Yeah. Print set 1 dot intersection set 2. Intersection returns only the element that exists in both sets. Aman and Priya and Aman are in both output. So output is Priya and Aman. Perfect for finding common members between two groups. So this is the code for question number 12. Now question number 13. Create a function that accepts two numbers and returns the larger number. So let's do the code for question number 13. DEF maximum A comma B if A greater than B colon return A return B print maximum 20 comma 50. Let's run this code. If A greater than B, return A, otherwise return B. Maximum 20 comma 50. If 20 greater than 50, no, so returns B, which is 50. So output is 50. So this is the code for question number 13. Now question number 14. A string contains extra spaces at the beginning and end. How will you remove unnecessary spaces and convert the text into uppercase? So let's do the code for question number 14. Text equal to hello Python print text dot strip dot upper. Dot strip removes the extra spaces from both ends. Dot upper converts everything to uppercase. We chain both methods together in one line. So output is hello Python. Each character is uppercase. This is called method chaining, calling multiple methods one after another on the same value. So this is the code for question number 14. Now question number 15. Create a student class having name, age. Also create a method that display the student details. So let's do the code for question number 15. Class student def init underscore self comma name comma age self dot name equal to name self dot age equal to age def display self colon print self dot name print self dot age student equal to student Keshav comma 20 print student dot display we define a student class with a constructor that takes name and age. The display method prints both values. Student Keshav, 20 creates the object student.display, calls the method. So output is Keshav and 20 on separate lines. So this is the code for question number 15. Now question number 16. The user enters a number. If the user enters 0, the program should not crash while performing division. How will you handle this using exception handling? So let's do the code for question number 16. Try num equal to int input enter number print 100 slash num except zero division error, print cannot divide by 0. The risky division is inside try. If the user enters 0, zero division error is caught by accept, and we print a friendly message cannot divide by 0. Program does not crash, it handles the error gracefully and continues. So if I enter 0, then output is cannot divide by 0. And if I take any number, then output is 20. Now question number 17. Create a text file named student.txt and write 3 student names into it. So let's do the code for question number 17. First we have to create a text file name and write 3 student names into it. With open student.txt w age file dot write Rahul slash n file dot write aman slash n file dot write Priya. We open student.txt in write mode w using the with statement. So the file closes automatically. We write 3 names each on a new line using slash n. After this run, student.txt will contain all 3 names. Now question number 18. Read all the contents of student.txt and display them on a screen. Read all the content of student.txt and display them on the screen. So let's do the code for question number 18. With open student.txt r age file print file dot read. So this is the code for question number 18. This is the code for question number 18. Now question number 19. Suppose the file student.txt does not exist. How will you display proper error message instead of crashing the program? So let's do the code for question number 19. Try with open student dot txt r h file print file dot read file dot read except file file not found error print file not found. So this is the code for question number 19. We wrap the file open inside a try block. If student.txt does not exist, file not found error is caught, and we print file not found instead of crashing. This combines file handling and exception handling together, exactly how it is done in real applications. In previous code, we entered three names. These are the three names. We use print file dot read. So this is giving the three names in this code. Question number 20. Create a mini student record system. The user enters name, age, and course. Store the information inside a dictionary and display all the details in a proper format. So let's do the code for question number 20. A student equal to name colon input enter name comma age colon int input enter age course input enter course print slash and student details for key value in student dot items colon print key colon value. Let's run this code. I think there is an error. int input enter age year comma. We create a dictionary directly with the user input as the values. Name gets a string, age gets an integer using int, course gets a string. Then we print a heading and loop through dot items to display every key value pair. If I enter name Keshav, age 20, course BTech, so I get output student details name Keshav A20 course BTech. The single program uses input type conversion, dictionary, loop, and dot items, combining everything you have learned in this course into one clean application. So these are the answers of all the codes. So you have now completed the complete Python programming for beginners. Throughout this series, you learned Python basics, variables and data types, operators, conditional statements, loops, functions, strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, object oriented programming, exception handling, file handling, practice program. Keep practice regularly, build small projects, and continue learning advanced Python concept. Thank you for being a part of Code with Keshav Python programming series.